were talking about how what's on the ground in Iran is going to be critical for the president's decision-making process going forward. And you were breaking down some of that real-time intelligence for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we have, and there is, there is information that is coming from inside, and some of that is not through normal intel channels. To be honest with you, the intel community, particularly the CIA, has, they should have so many years of on the ground knowledge, and they really don't. Where you have really good intelligence is coming from people that are in the region that have been there for a long time, that we have developed relationships with for so many years because of on-the-ground combat operations, fighting alongside of some of these people in places like Afghanistan and Iraq and other places in the region. And they don't trust the U.S. intelligence community, to be very blunt. But they trust those of us who have, in many cases, fought alongside them. So the type of intelligence that Trump really is going to need to be able to make decisions about, and one of the things that I want to take a little bit of a step back, Jack, on is this is not about the Iranian people. So this is about the Iranian regime. This is not about going after the Iranian people. And I think Trump has been very clear on this. There are others that are spewing this nonsense that, Trump is doing this, it's against Iran and Iranian people. No, this is against the Iranian regime, to decapitate the Iranian regime. And as he said, he's calling for unconditional surrender. And I'm for it. I mean, we cannot have the kind of tyranny and hatred and basically the threatening, like I think President Trump called it, like a bully, right? A bully. They've been a bully for 3 decades. So that on-the-ground intelligence that is coming out and providing good tactical information about the sentiment and the feeling of the Iranian people and where things still are happening or still are occurring, what is going on when we know about aircraft, for example, when we get reports about aircraft taking off, right? Or we get reports about family members, regime family members that are gathering their Gucci and their gold and starting to move into different places to get absconded out of the country by some of their foreign partners like Russia or China. That kind of stuff is good to know because it gives the president a sentiment of the conditions on the ground. Never mind what our capability is or what capacity or whether we can fly a B-2 bomber out of this place or that place. Can they have, all of that technical stuff? We have all of that in abundance. It is the tactical, very exquisite, very, very hard to get intel that he needs right now. And some of that is being provided. I know that some of that is being provided to people that are trusting and providing it to the right people at the right moment. I think that's really critical. I mean, really what we have is we've got the president has a couple of options here. He's called for unconditional surrender. So he might say, I'm going to give you another clock to look at there, Khomeini. And I'll give you 72 hours, maybe a week. But you're going to have to do some, here's some criteria that you're going to have to follow. Or maybe he just says you got 24 hours, right? I mean, so Trump, I think in the next 24 hours, I said this 2 days ago, that the next 72 to 96 hours are going to be some of the most intense moments in U.S. history that we have ever experienced. And I personally believe that right now we have as Governor Huckabee, the ambassador to in Israel said, we have the right person at the right moment in history in Donald J. Trump, probably dating back to as far back as maybe Truman, when Truman had to make the decision about dropping bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I'm not talking about Trump having to make a decision about dropping any kind of nuclear capabilities. I'm just talking about newer capacities that we have